What's going on, guys? Decoration Dude here, and today I have a pretty cool video on this Gemmy life-size Freddy Krueger. Now, I've had this one in my possession for a while. I actually got this one off Facebook Marketplace when I picked up my H2O Michael and Hannibal, along with like that Ghostface and Jason. I got this guy with them. You may have seen him in a couple of videos, but I haven't done like a full review on him. And that's because, for the most part, his arm was pretty broken up until like a couple weeks ago. I'll get into that in a second, but I'm finally getting around to making a video on him, and he is in overall very good condition. I mean, the people that had these before me, they took very good care of him. The guy said that his wife ran a doctor's office, and this is where they would put these out in like the doctor's office during Halloween, which honestly, if there's any kids that went to that doctor's office, they probably didn't want to ever go back after seeing, like, especially this guy. But they were very well taken care of. He's got the box still. He's got the instructions. He's got the locking pins. He's got the original box that the adapter went in. Unfortunately, his box is a little roughed up, but I've seen much worse. And overall, I mean, this guy's just really, really creepy. I mean, as far as the horror characters go, I would have to say, obviously Leatherface is just, crown jewel, but right under him, this guy comes in very close second with just, how creepy he is, creepy-wise. And the detail in his face and his eye is just, he's very, very creepy, and definitely looks like a burn victim. Now, repair-wise, when I first got him, the fingers didn't move, so I replaced the gear in his fingers, and you can kind of still see a little bit of glue, but it's nothing crazy from where I had to glue his glove back together. And the main issue with this guy was that his arm was just dangling because the main gear for the arm was stripped, and I'm assuming it happened because when this guy was like up on display in the doctor's office or whatever, maybe some kid came up and like pulled on his arm, which messed it up. And I ended up ordering a gear off Skull Crane, putting it in there, and it worked for like 3 activations, and it stripped out again and cracked. And so then I tried to contact Skull Crane, actually, because he has like a certain, certain amount of days guaranteed that it'll work, or, I think it may even be lifetime. I'm not too sure. But he just ignored me, so I ended up ordering a second gear. It did the same thing, broke within 3 activations, and so I really don't recommend doing business with Skull Crane. I know a lot of people like them. They're like, oh, this is the only place you can get, these 3D printed parts, and, well, obviously, it's known that 3D printed parts are nowhere near as strong as, like, the OEM gears and all that. And sometimes you can get away with using 3D printed parts, but in this case, I couldn't. And Skull Crane just doesn't stand behind his work. I mean, he guarantees it'll work or whatever, and it didn't work, so I wouldn't be throwing as big of a fit if he like gave me some money back, or maybe gave me a different gear, or just sent me another one to try, so at least I know it wasn't just that particular gear. But he just ignored me, and yeah, it's just aggravating, but I'm not going to get into any more detail because I could go on and on about him. But here's Freddy. So like I said, the arm was messed up, and you may notice it's working now, and I think if you go back in my display video, you'll see that the arm's just hanging there. And but what ended up happening was I found someone on eBay that was parting one of these guys out, and I messaged him like, hey, would you sell the arm mechanism? He's like, yeah, I might. So a few weeks later, he messaged me back. He's like, okay, I'll sell it. So I ended up buying just the arm mech off this guy, and I used it to fix mine. Now, his was actually a 2011 model, so they were different. I did have to do a little bit of plug and playing, a mix match of, or sorry if I could speak, a mix match of parts in this arm. So it has some 2011 parts, some 2010 parts. And what's nice about the 2011 one is it actually is way better made. The gears, it's stronger, and the arm has more support, which is nice. And so yeah, after I put that gear in there, his arm moves now, but it does need a belt. The belt does need to be replaced, so the arm doesn't have like the full range of motion. but I'll get that fixed pretty soon. But yeah, without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and activate him.
Did you know that after the heart stops beating, the brain keeps functioning for well over 7 minutes? We got 6 more minutes to play.
So as you can see, the arm's kind of messed up. I just need to try to find the right belt. I've messed around with it before, but still have yet to find a belt that works perfectly like the original Gemmy ones, which may not be possible, but I'm gonna keep trying. And luckily, when I first got him, his face was fully working, and it still is, so I didn't have to do any work on the face, which would have sucked if I had to cut his mask open or something, but...
How's this for a wet dream?
I'll just keep going through some of his phrases.
Why are you screaming? I haven't even cut you yet.
What's really unique about this guy is the amount of motion he has. He has 6 movements, which is just really crazy, and the only other character that has that many, I believe, is the Fortune Witch, and that is amongst 2 characters, and this is just 1, so this guy is just fully loaded. They went all out on this prop, and they did a very good job.
1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, better lock your door. 5, 6, grab a crucifix. 7, 8, gonna stay up late. 9, 10, never sleep again.
So yeah, I mean, he's in very good condition. I'm gonna go ahead and activate him one more time.
Ready or not, here I come.
So yeah, I mean, there he is. He's just a very amazing piece, and I'm glad that I have one in my collection now, or I've had one. I've had him for a while, like I mentioned. And one other thing I wanted to note is that he did retail for $279.99, which is a pretty crazy price for 2010 for a Halloween prop. But then again, you're just getting amazing quality. You're getting 6 motions. You're getting all the detail, and there's really not much setup required. I mean, $279 is not a bad price at all. I would definitely pay that back in 2010. And, you know, compared to the stuff we're getting nowadays, this is just insane. Unfortunately, we won't ever get stuff like this again, but I mean, I'm glad that I have one in my collection now. And these guys, they're not too terribly hard to find. You can find them, and they don't go for a lot of money like some of the horror characters do on eBay. You can still find them out there for reasonably priced. I think within the last year, I've seen 2 or 3 sell from like the $250 to $300 range, which is really not bad at all. But yeah, here he is, 2010 Gemmy Life-Size Freddy. And I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here, and thanks for watching.